Disclaimer, this channel assumes you talk to your DM about literally everything. This is a communication game. The game literally doesn't work if you don't talk to each other. Anyways, let's start the video. Top 10 third level spells. This is where the power really spikes for casters. Welcome to Pack Tactics, where we spam fireballs. Number 1 is Fireball! No, it's not, but Fireball is definitely here. I will take into account both 2014 and 2024 content. The rating doesn't change much besides one spell. I'll of course talk about it when we get there. So here we go. Number 10, Counterspell. I think the rating is correct for both versions, even though the old Counterspell is vastly superior to the new version. The reason for that is they sort of have an equal relevancy at higher level play. Enemy casters are the most dangerous enemies in the whole game. They will AoE shut you down. That's usually how you lose. To stop that, you can maybe save yourself or your friends with Counterspell if you're within 60 feet of the caster. In general, I don't recommend getting involved in that 60-foot Counterspell war because they're so messy, and you burn your slots really fast. I prefer distance and cover because it's just safer. But anyways, Counterspell is a little bit complicated with new monsters. Some monsters you just can't Counterspell, which is really annoying. But when it does actually work and you need it, you really need it. If you want to know more about the old Counterspell, check out this video. I go over tons more detail. Number 9! Tiny Hut! Best defense ritual in the whole game. It's stupid broken. It was recently nerfed, but it's still stupid broken. It's usually used for camping and taking a long rest. It's a 10-foot dome and nothing can pass through it besides your friends. The only way to get rid of it is for an enemy to cast Dispel Magic. If they don't have that spell and Tiny Hut is up, that's usually a default kill, because if your friends were in the casting radius, when it plopped down, then they can freely move in and out of the hut. They can just range down the enemies without worry. Sure, the enemies can ready action and all that, but who cares? The threat of dying isn't gonna be there. In the new version, spells of 4th level and up can pass through the hut, but like, okay. There's a lot of tech around this spell and it makes a lot of people really mad. I can make a whole video on it. I've used this tech, I've seen a few other people use this tech. Basically, you can cast this in a dungeon to block a doorway. If you're using a slot, that's a 1-minute cast. With Ritual, it's 11 minutes. Both casts out of combat isn't long. For those 8 hours when it's plopped down, no one will be able to pass through it besides your friends, which provides perfect defense and a safe place to short rest in the dungeon. You don't need to worry about random dangerous encounters in Strahd's castle or wherever you are. The Warlock is gonna give you a kiss. But I warn you, like, I don't actually recommend you do this. Because every time I've used it, it's been banned. And same for my friends as well. But who knows, maybe your DM will allow it. Talk to them before doing this. I understand why they would ban it. Anyways, you get the gist. Number 8! World Anvil! This tool will help you make epic worlds with epic adventures and epic lore. Turn your imagination into a professional, organized world. You'll look like a pro world builder, and in general, it will also help you with your notes and lore keeping. I have DM friends who dabble in World Anvil, and one of them has won awards for their world building, which is pretty big stuff. World Anvil is very community focused and filled with Dungeon Master power gamers who will gladly help you in optimizing your world to stun your players or whatever you're doing. This tool isn't just for DMing, it's also for writing and arts in general as well. If you're an artsy person, you're going to love this. It will always guide you in what to create next. You'll always have something to do. It's gonna snowball very quickly into this massive world. And it's all created by your hands. Check out worldanvil.com/packtactics and use the code PACK at the checkout for a 51% off any yearly subscription. Back to the video. Number 8! Animate Dead! These are very squishy and don't do very much damage, but it's very easy to create a little army out of them. And they can help you use items or magic items for you to provide more output. And also, these are creatures on the field. If there's 4 of them, it's normally hard for a single enemy to get rid of all of them. them. The undead are annoying on purpose. What's also worth noting is the spell lasts 24 hours. If you have an adventuring day where you didn't spend any spell slots, you can blow everything on Animate Dead and take a long rest. That way, yesterday's resources become power today. It's like casting good berries. That's the best way to do it, but of course, you should raise the amount you can handle. If you can't handle steering 6 of them, then maybe go for 4 instead. The easiest way to steer them really is just to make them skeleton archers. It's also the best option. All you do is just say attack and you roll attack. You can also make them stronger with magic stones or magic items. You can pimp out your dead. There's a lot you can do with these guys. Check out these 2 videos for more detail. I also want to give Tiny Servant a special mention here too, as an alternative. These guys are bulkier but don't have any range and do less damage. They're also easier to gather an army with, and they aren't frowned upon like necromancy. The upcast gives you 2 additional servants. I like to cast this with a 4th level slot to get 3 of them immediately, and then I put them in this formation in general. Of course I cast this out of combat. No way would I cast this in combat. I've actually used this spell more than Animate Dead. I really should make a video about these guys. But anyway, same thing applies. You can give them magic items to use. They're really good with magic stones. They can't use simple weapons though, and they only last 8 hours. But again, they're easier to cast with a single 4th level slot. Number 7! Sleet Storm. This used to be huge. Like, look at the picture. That is art. Now it's a 20-foot radius sphere like Fireball. It's difficult terrain and forces a dex save. On a fail, creatures end up prone and lose concentration. The heavily obscurement will make everyone attack with a normal roll. Advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out, which is super useful if you have disadvantage, like for example, the fighter does not have sharpshooter for his ranged attacks, or the creature is prone or whatever. It will also prevent enemies from casting sight-based spells and what have you. Getting out of Sleet Storm can be very hard for enemies with simple combos from your team. A Warlock with Repelling Blast will just keep them in there for longer. Same with Ray of Frost, Slow Mastery property, or Push Mastery property. The longer they're stuck there, the better. Number 6! Plant growth. Look how big it is on a battle map. That's a 100-foot radius sphere. Its size never got nerfed like Sleet Storm. A creature moving through that area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 feet it moves. That's with no save, and it stacks with difficult terrain and tons of other spells and effects that reduce movement. It's insane. Number 5. Conjure animals. It's so weird to have this here. In 2014, this would be number 1. You could summon 8 creatures and do like 72 DPR, which is godsend. And on top of that, it's a wall of flesh that's hard to get rid of. Any decent animal was a really powerful animal. But anyways, let's talk about 2024. It's a 10-foot emanation spell that's placed on a large pack. The pack are not creatures, strangely enough. You can move them around 30 feet for free. It's a better Moonbeam really, and gives advantage on strength saves. It forces a dex save, but doesn't do half damage. The lack of half damage and no difficult terrain is what really hurts the rating. And the spell sucks at comboing with other things, but it's still a top 5. It's over Sleet Storm and Plant Growth after all. The average is 9.9 DPR with 60% chance of creatures failing the save. That's 1 DPR behind Spirit Guardians cast at the same level. You should absolutely pick up this spell. I've been casting this a lot in my private games. Number 4! Fireball! 20-foot radius sphere is big, and this spell is so incredibly powerful as soon as you get it. I would say it's like number 3 as soon as you get it at level 5. The thing that's preventing the rating is the scaling, but don't get me wrong, this stays relevant throughout your entire career. Not only does it do a ton of damage for its level, but also that half damage does majority of the work in damage, especially if you have bad stats. I've made a video about it, I promote it all the time. I'm surprised it doesn't have 100k views. This is so easy to fling out for AoE damage right now. There's many times where you're put in that scenario where you need AoE damage right now. Even if you're concentrating on a random important spell, sometimes you just need to fling something out fast and powerful, and Fireball is one of the best spells at doing that. Even though this spell is a meme spell, it's really good.
Fireball is beast.
Absolutely.
Number 3. Hypnotic Pattern.
This AoE control spell completely shuts down enemies if they fail the wisdom save. They become charmed, and while they're charmed, they are incapacitated and have 0 speed for 1 minute. That's 10 rounds. And this is with no repeat save. An encounter usually lasts 4 rounds, so they're usually completely out of the fight. Enemies can shake each other to undo this condition, but that takes an action for them, which is a huge cost. Sometimes they'll be too busy recovering from your spell than actually attacking you. This spell is usually the optimizer's go-to spell. It's so good. If you want more details and fancy tech about it, check out this video.
Number 2. Spirit Guardians!
This thing is a monster. It just tears through everything. It's a 15-foot emanation that does 10.8 DPR on average, and it lasts a super long time. It can last an entire dungeon crawl. And remember what I said about 4 rounds. If you have that up for 4 rounds, that's 43.2 average damage to 1 creature. 1! You can easily get like 3-5 creatures in it if you just go into melee. Once you have this spell active, everything's automatic. You don't need to spend any actions or anything. The only thing you needed to do was an action setup. And you're a cleric, you have good armor and can dodge from there, so enemies have disadvantage to all of their attacks. And then you just let the spell do all the work for you. There's also more to the spell too, like the half movement. Link in the description where I go over absolutely everything. Casually, this spell is so powerful that you don't even need to think about the half movement. You can just turn off your brain and go autopilot. And then you just make everything make a save and you just dodge. You don't need to roll anything. This thing just murders everything. It's so powerful that this thing memes on every martial class in the entire game. And it has the best scaling in the entire game. It is 100% worth upcasting. This spell will turn you religious.
Now for honorable mentions.
Revivify. Somebody might die. This is actually better to get in a scroll. So if you die, someone can maybe use the scroll to save you. Even if they don't have 3rd level slots, they can still maybe use it. The downside is they have to roll an Arcana check. But yeah, get it in a scroll. It will be more expensive, but it's worth the cost. And it also makes it so you don't need to prepare the spell. You just use the scroll. Next is Dispel Magic. It's mostly for utility. It can also be used for recovery, but I find that breaking enemy concentration is better recovery because of offense, but that doesn't work 100% of the time. This usually does unless the spell is cast at an extreme level. Glyph of Warding. This is used for endgame stuff to do a lot of broken shenanigans. I personally don't like endgame because of spells like these, but it absolutely deserves a video. And then we've got Haste. I'm joking, it sucks. Awful spell.
Now for number 1. The best 3rd level spell in the game. Phantom Steed.
This mount is a race car. It can move 100 feet. If it dashes, that's 200 feet. Dashing and taking the disengage action are free on the mounts. They can just do these actions for you. This single spell makes you the best skirmisher in the game, and this is a ritual cast. Only wizards and undead warlocks get this spell. Every single time I see this spell, it's an instant pick. I can make steeds for my friends. You can ritual cast while the steed moves around. If you want more detail about this spell, check out this video. That's it. That's the list. Next video is probably going to be top 10 4th level spells, and then 5th level spells, and maybe 6th. Anyways, end the video. Check out the Kobold and Gator Dice. Follow us on Kickstarter. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.